Imagine seeing something that isn't there, a phantom image created by your mind. Welcome to the world of optical illusions. As we begin our journey into this fascinating realm, let's first demystify what an optical illusion is. Derived from the Latin word illusio, meaning mockery, optical illusions are images or pictures that we perceive differently than they really are. They are a kind of magic trick your brain plays on you, making you see things that may not exist or are different from what they appear to be. So, how does this happen? How does our brain, an organ so sophisticated that it's often compared to a supercomputer, get fooled by a simple image? The answer lies in the way our brain processes visual information. Our eyes capture light, which gets converted into electrical signals. These signals are then interpreted by our brain, creating a picture of the world around us. This process, however, is not as straightforward as it seems. Our brain has to make sense of a vast amount of information, and to do so, it uses previous knowledge and assumptions. It's like filling in the blanks in a story based on what we already know. But sometimes, this method leads to misinterpretations. The brain, in its attempt to make sense of the world, gets tricked into seeing something that isn't there. And voila, an optical illusion is born. Optical illusions are not merely party tricks or a fun way to pass time. They offer a fascinating glimpse into our mind's inner workings, revealing how we perceive and interpret the world around us. They highlight our brain's incredible ability to make sense of complex visual cues and also its limitations, reminding us that our perception of reality is not always accurate. Now you are probably wondering, how can these illusions relate to your everyday life? You may not realize it, but you encounter optical illusions more often than you might think. Optical illusions aren't just found in magic shows or science textbooks, they're a part of our everyday life. They're in the way a straight road appears to narrow in the distance, in the way the full moon seems to swell as it nestles against the horizon, and even in the way a straw seems to bend when immersed in a glass of water. Let's delve into that a bit more. Ever noticed how a straw seems to break and bend when you dip it in a glass of water? This illusion is due to the refraction of light. When light passes from one medium to another, in this case from air into water, its speed changes, causing it to bend and making the straw appear broken. Now, let's consider the moon, a celestial body we've all gazed upon. Have you ever noticed how it appears larger when it's near the horizon than when it's high in the sky? This phenomenon, known as the moon illusion, has left scientists and philosophers puzzled for centuries. While there are several theories, one popular explanation is that our brain perceives the moon as further away when it's high in the sky compared to when it's on the horizon. As such, our brain compensates for this perceived distance by making the moon appear smaller when it's high up. These examples show us how our brain processes visual information. It makes educated guesses based on previous experiences and the context in which the information is presented. Sometimes, these guesses can lead to fascinating distortions of reality, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. So the next time you see a straw bending in a glass of water or marvel at the size of the moon on the horizon, remember, it's not magic, it's your brain interpreting the world around you. Isn't it fascinating to think that your brain can be fooled by something as simple as a straw in a glass of water? Optical illusions aren't just fun to look at, they can also be used as mind-bending puzzles. Now let's dive into the world of optical illusion puzzles, where your perception is both your greatest tool and your biggest challenge. First, consider the famous Rubik's Cube. While not a traditional optical illusion, it relies heavily on your ability to visualize and manipulate colors and shapes in a three-dimensional space. Each side of the cube presents a different color, and the objective is to arrange all light-colored squares on the same side. Simple to understand, yet challenging to master. This type of puzzle not only tests your problem-solving skills, but also your spatial awareness and memory. Next, let's consider the Penrose triangle, also known as the impossible triangle. This is an optical illusion where a two-dimensional figure appears to form a three-dimensional triangle. But upon closer inspection, it's apparent that such a shape cannot exist in the real world. The Penrose triangle challenges your brain to reconcile the impossible, pushing your cognitive abilities to the limit. Optical illusion puzzles like these are more than just a way to pass the time. They can help improve cognitive skills by challenging your brain to think in new and different ways. They test your perception, spatial awareness, memory, and problem-solving skills. They push you to question what you see, to look beyond the surface, and to consider multiple perspectives. Research shows that regularly engaging in such mental exercises can help keep the mind sharp, potentially slowing cognitive decline as we age. So, not only are these puzzles fun and challenging, they're also good for your brain health. But perhaps the most interesting aspect of optical illusion puzzles is that they remind us of the power and limitations of our own perception. They show us that what we see is not always a true reflection of reality, but rather a construction of our mind, based on our past experiences and assumptions. So, next time you see an optical illusion puzzle, don't shy away. It's a great opportunity to give your brain a good workout. Now that you know how optical illusions work and where you can find them, let's dive into the science behind them. At the heart of every optical illusion is a fundamental truth. Our perception is not a mirror image of reality, but rather a construction of it. The human brain is a complex machine, constantly interpreting data collected by our senses. This is where light, color, and perspective come into play. Let's begin with light. You see, light is the reason we perceive anything at all. It bounces off objects and enters our eyes, allowing us to see. But sometimes, the light can play tricks on us. For instance, when light shines on an object from a certain angle, it can create shadows that make the object appear different than it really is. This is the principle behind many illusions that play with light and shadow. Next, let's talk about color. Our brain interprets different wavelengths of light as different colors, but sometimes surrounding colors can influence how we perceive a certain color. This is known as color constancy. It's the reason why a dress can appear blue and black to some and white and gold to others. The surrounding colors trick our brains into perceiving the color differently. Lastly, there's perspective. Our brain uses perspective to judge distance and size, but sometimes perspective can be manipulated to create illusions. Think about the classic Ames room illusion, where people appear to change size as they move across the room. It's all a trick of perspective. In essence, optical illusions are a testament to the power of our brains. They show us that what we see isn't always what's there. They remind us that our perception is a construction, not a reflection, of the world around us. So, the next time you see an optical illusion, remember, it's not magic, it's science. Optical illusions are more than just tricks of the eye, they are a testament to the incredible power and complexity of our brain. As we've journeyed together through this fascinating world of optical illusions, we've discovered that they are indeed much more than mere party tricks. They are a window into the intricate workings of our perception and a testament to how our brains interpret the world around us. We've seen how optical illusions are not just confined to magic shows or puzzle books, but are woven into the very fabric of our everyday life. From the way we perceive the colors of a dress on a screen, to understanding the depth of a three-dimensional image on a flat canvas, optical illusions are everywhere, challenging our perceptions and questioning our assumptions about reality. We delved into mind-bending puzzles that left us scratching our heads, only to realize that the answer was right before our eyes, if only we could perceive it differently. Through these puzzles, we learned that sometimes our brain prefers simplicity over accuracy, filling in the blanks and making assumptions that may not always match the reality. We also explored the science behind these optical illusions, understanding how they are not a flaw, but rather a testament to the efficiency of our brain. Our brain constantly seeks patterns and shortcuts to help us navigate the complex world around us. However, these shortcuts can sometimes lead us to perceive things that aren't really there, creating a fascinating illusion. This journey through the realm of optical illusions has been a reminder of the incredible power and complexity of our brain. It has shown us that perception is not just about what our eyes see, but how our brain interprets that information, making sense of the world around us. So let's continue to challenge our perceptions, to question our assumptions, and to remain open to seeing the world in different ways. Share this video with your friends and family, and see if they can solve some of the optical illusion puzzles we've discussed. Remember, it's not just about seeing, it's about perceiving. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your mind sharp.